Hi all, welcome to Soul's Journey. I hope everybody had good holidays, whatever you celebrate, and if they weren't good, I hope you survived them. I know it can be a rough time of year for a lot of people. It's certainly very different in my life than it was years ago, but I try to make the best of it. So now that we're through the holidays, or most of them, I wanted to do a year ahead or 6 month ahead card reading spread. And I'm going to be using a spread out of Dorothy Kelly's Tarot Card Combinations book. And I think I will go ahead and turn the camera around and show you the cards that I have laid out. Okay, so here are the cards that I pulled, laid out as the book directs for this spread. And let me show you, I'm going to put up a little PowerPoint slide here to show you how it is. And it's pretty simple. There's no questions for the different positions. It's just 2 cards for each month, basically. Okay, so as I was shuffling, and I don't normally get that out of the way, use a significator, but this one, the Ace of Cups, popped out. So I went ahead and decided to use that as the significator, kind of the dominant influence for the next 6 months, is how I'm looking at it. So here it is in the book. Like I said, there's, not a whole lot to it. She does have a rather more complicated way of shuffling and laying the cards out than I bother with, so I just did my usual shuffling and went ahead and laid them out. So I'm using the Wheel of Fortune Tarot from Ivy Feng, or Feng, sorry. This is the smaller one, and the cards are plastic. So they're not indestructible, but they're pretty durable. But I needed something small to get them all within the camera shot. So for the first position, so I'm looking at the significator as kind of it's kind of perfect for this. It's just an ace, the Ace of Cups, a new beginning for the new year, and I'm like full of ideas, and so that's kind of the general theme of this reading. It was kind of interesting. Okay, so for January, I pulled the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I really shuffled this deck too. So for all these cups to kind of pop out. So I'm looking at this as teaming up with somebody and maybe a new partnership, or getting some guidance from someone for something that I really want, for a direction that I want to go in. So I'm not currently planning to consult anybody like this. Well, I am kind of expecting to talk to my therapist again in January, so maybe that's it, but it looks like it'll have a good outcome. So it's just somebody who can give me the kind of advice that I'm looking for and that will lead me where I want to go. So that would be January. So that's kind of that's a good start to the year. And then February, I got the Nine of Pentacles and the High Priestess. And I read these as kind of spending some time by myself and doing some more research and learning, studying my craft more, maybe digging into some things that I haven't had time for up until now. But a very good, fruitful month of doing that, you know, taking the time to research something and learning more about the direction that I want to go. So that's February. And then March, got another ace, Ace of Pentacles, and the Empress. So after all that studying in February, it looks like I'm going to be taking off and starting on possibly a new project that's going to, I would say, take up a lot of my time. Kind of like, you know, a new baby, very demanding and keeping you up all hours of the night, but it's going to be a good project that will be very productive for me. I don't really know what this might be yet, but we shall see. So then as we go around this, the idea is that, you know, even though these cards show upside down here, you're thinking of it as the significator turning to look at each one as you go around. So I don't read reversals. I read all cards upright. So then in April, I got the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Lots of creative energy here. Really, things kind of probably blowing up and starting to really take off, and staying committed to this new project and getting a real burst of energy kind of thing. Maybe a renewed sense of purpose. So that's April. So much new stuff coming at me. It's almost a little overwhelming. But then by May, I've got the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. For this, let's see what I wrote down here. So it's kind of going to be a time to sit back and sort of regroup and take stock of everything. You know, everything that's been happening up to this point, all these new ideas and these new projects, and maybe a little time to sort of coast and let things sort of progress on their own and see what happens. Or maybe I'll come to kind of a stopping point where I can't do anything more for a while. So I think I'll be looking forward to that by May if everything really takes off like it's saying in the earlier part of the year. And then by June, I have the Moon and the Eight of Wands. And for that, it's more of kind of go with the flow. It's like all this stuff that's been building up is going to kind of take off on its own, and probably things might start happening a little faster, start seeing some progress, and just kind of staying out of the way, staying out of my own way and letting it happen. And yeah, so looks like a pretty dynamic 6 months of the year coming up, and a little overwhelming, depending on what all this turns out to be. So we shall see. And Anyway, if anybody would like a reading, you can always reach me through my Etsy shop, and the link is down in the description box. And as always, I always appreciate the likes and subscribe. And that's it for now. So I wish everyone a great day and a great start to the new year, and I will talk to you soon. Blessed be.